Hey, Dr. Joe here. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about is things my kids do and potentially what your kids do that could be altering some dysfunction into their hips, their ankles, things like that. So one thing that we notice is a lot of kids are flat-footed. Very common. Everybody's flat-footed when they grow up, when they start walking, and you'll notice a drop in their arches. Some kids are pretty severe where their ankles are very collapsed. Other ones are just kind of just collapse in a normal situation where there's no arch. So one thing to consider, kids need to develop their arches into their feet just like most of us have. So allow them to walk barefooted at home. Socks is fine, or just bare feet in general. But the walking bare feet at home helps them strengthen the interarticular muscles with underneath the foot, helps to strengthen the area, support the main ligament that controls the arch, and can start forming proper habits for the bottom of the foot. If your kids are always walking around in very cushy shoes at home, very soft shoes, they're not really supporting their arch, and it's not really comfortable. Well, it is comfortable, but it's not good to promote a proper arch formation. Same things when you're buying running shoes for your children or any other shoes. You want to have not as much flex in the sole because that doesn't have a lot of support, but you want to have something more with like a rigid sole, still comfortable, but something more rigid where you can't take the shoe and completely fold it up and more like a trainer, like an adult would wear. You want something with some more stronger bottoms to give them that stability, so that way their arches can still form and their feet can have the ability to do what they need to do to strengthen. Versus if they're in a very spongy material, there's so much shock absorption that's happening that their feet aren't able to absorb the forces and adapt. It's all about adaptability in children. So for sure, more of a harder, less kind of malleable shoe would be more beneficial for them, and walking bare feet at home. Okay, so to start developing their arches, strengthening their ankles and their calves. Another thing that my kids do, one of my twins, when she sits down on her bottom, when we're playing a game or playing Lego or anything like that, she always sits in a W formation, where she sits on her knees and her knees are rotated inwards, her hips are internally rotated, and her feet are actually behind her. I don't like that position, and I don't like her sitting in that way because her hips are so internally rotated that it's not like dangerous for a child, but it's just not comfortable for their joints. It shouldn't be in that position. Same thing, all the pressure on the knees because they're being torqued in that internal rotation is not the most comfortable. So every time I see that my daughter sit like that, I always correct her and put her in a cross-legged position, just because the femur and the hip joint is in an externally rotated position, and the knees are just flexed in a comfortable position without the support the body weight. So it's just better for overall development and helping them decrease strain on those joints if they don't need to. So remember, have them walk barefooted at home, which will help benefit them, and don't let them sit in that kind of W sitting formation with their feet behind them. Sit them in a cross-legged position, and it'll help support them and make their joints a little bit more comfortable going forward. If you have any questions, let me know. You can DM me and I can respond to you through another video, and we could continue our IG series. Thank you.